JD Vance.
That one's on Vance for going to Union Station, which has gorgeous heckling acoustics. Do you hear the heckler sing, singing a song of angry libs? It is the sofa of the people that will not be f***ed again. Love it or leave it. Let's get into it. What a week. It has taken 10 years, but when it comes to dealing with Donald Trump, world leaders have moved from denial to anger to bargaining, finally, to acceptance with depression and some bargaining. Or as I call them, the 5 stages of beef. That's what that deserved. It's been a long road to acceptance, and you can watch it play out through a history of weird handshakes. Here's Trump's endless handshake with French President Emmanuel Macron in 2017. That goes on for nearly 30 seconds, which is crazy. A handshake shouldn't last as long as sex. Here's Trump refusing to let go of late Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. That one was 19 seconds. I know, twice as long as sex. And look, Neil Gorsuch isn't a world leader, so this is a little off topic, but Trump repeatedly yanks him during a handshake. It's sad to see someone like Neil Gorsuch have to experience someone taking control away of his body from him. We also saw in February what happens when a leader refuses to go along with Trump, when Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky bickered with the president and with JD Vance in the Oval Office. I haven't seen two assholes and a beleaguered comedian argued like this since those cashiers tried to tell me I couldn't come into the Tesla diner every day just to take a shit. The bathroom code is 8297. And Zelensky was back at the White House on Monday, along with European leaders. And this time, Zelensky played it differently. For starters, he did wear a suit, which explains why the DC Spirit Halloween was out of men's small John Wicks. That's right. That one's at Zelensky's expense. Surprise. Zelensky even joshed around with Marjorie Taylor Greene's reporter boyfriend about the new look.
First of all, Mr. President Zelensky, you look fabulous in that suit.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, you look good.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, looks good on
I
you.
said the one that attacked you last time. See, now he's I remember that.
Yeah, I apologize to you. You look wonderful.
Marjorie girl, I'm astonished to be saying this, but you can do better. And it wasn't just Zelensky's sartorial tactics that changed. He swallowed his pride when asked insulting questions like this one from Peter Doocy.
President Zelensky, are you prepared to keep sending Ukrainian troops to their deaths for another couple years, or are you going to agree to redraw the maps?
Like Putin's campaign of terror is some light redistricting. Thank God our children won't have history books to read because this is humiliating. Zelensky even laughed along when Trump mused about using a war as an excuse to postpone American elections.
So you say during the war you can't have elections. So let me just say 3.5 years from now. So you mean if we happen to be in a war with somebody, no more elections? Oh, that's good.
How can we hold elections when America is dealing with a multi-front war on Christmas? It's not possible. Zelensky also brought Trump a gift, a putter that belonged to a Ukrainian soldier who lost his leg in the conflict. Said the soldier, "May it bring Trump the same luck it brought me." Zelensky and Macron even pretended to be interested when Trump was showing off his little MAGA gift shop off the Oval Office, which includes a Trump 2028 hat. So much history in this space. To think, this is where President Franklin Delano Roosevelt sold his merch. Just a few days earlier, Trump literally rolled out the red carpet for Russian President and horse girl Vladimir Putin in Alaska. Trump gave Putin the prestige of a bilateral visit and allowed him to leave without taking a single question from journalists, though I guess we'll start seeing clips from Putin's Rogan interview soon. But of course, Trump doesn't see the value of a tyrant like Putin facing tough questions. He also doesn't understand consent, algebra, that Melania was never actually attracted to him, or that people who leave the room continue to exist. So it's a long list. Even Trump, on some level, knows this about himself.
I want to try and get to heaven if possible. I'm hearing I'm not doing well. I hear I'm really at the bottom of the totem pole.
First of all, hearing from who? Also, what would Trump's heaven even look like? A big golf course where everyone sucks up to him and calls him Mr. President? He already has that. His heaven is our hell. I get it. He wants to go to heaven because then he can finally be reunited with his friend, Jeffrey Epstein. And now European leaders have finally accepted what it takes to deal with Trump. And yeah, they look miserable. But that's just what Europeans look like when they have to work in August. Got them too. They've all finally learned that there's no equity in pride and honesty when it comes to Trump, that he isn't moved by arguments based on values and protecting allies and autocrats seeing more pain than reward in invading their neighbors, because he's not interested in a free and democratic world. He's not interested in a free and democratic America. The only value he's interested in is meal. So, that was an insane amount of time before a genuine laugh. I haven't seen that one. That's new. That was exciting. That's a new kind of silence for us. And we've got all kinds of silences during this show. Like this one. That's why Trump is putting troops on the streets of our capital. And I'm glad those kids from Louisiana get to visit the Lincoln Memorial. It's a powerful monument, but they should have come on their own time. Trump claims he did it to make D.C. residents feel safe enough to go out to eat.
The restaurants the last 2 days were busier than they've been in a long time.
But that was a lie, if you can believe it. According to booking data from OpenTable, reservations in the city have dropped by as much as 31% year over year, which was shocking because I thought Resi was the app for criminals and aliens. Pete Hegseth and J.D. Vance visited the National Guard troops in D.C.'s Union Station, where they were jeered by hecklers on their way to Shake Shack.
Go fuck the couch, J.D. Vance. Go fuck the couch.
That one's on Vance for going to Union Station, which has gorgeous heckling acoustics. Do you hear the heckler sing, singing a song of angry libs? It is the sofa of the people that will not be fucked again. J.D. Vance defended the D.C. crackdown on Fox News Wednesday night.
Your pal Gavin Newsom calls this an abuse of power, that this is just a power grab, and this is all stunt for show, and that you all are going to roll through other cities. You've heard things about, martial law is going to be declared.
Yep.
And to that, you say?
Well, first of all, how is it a power grab or how is it a stunt when we've already declined murders by 35% in 9 days?
Continued Vance, I'm sorry, did I say murders? I mean restaurant reservations. I get those confused because waiters always seem like they want to murder me. But thanks for saying I have a pal. If you believe that stat from Vance, by the way, then please enjoy your family's next trip to the Smithsonian's latest exhibit, The President Who Ended Slavery, Which Wasn't So Bad, The Story of Donald Trump.
Love It or Leave It is brought to you by WebRoot. We take measures to protect ourselves in different aspects of our lives. If your dog has a little surgery, it wears one of those cones, to stop from getting at it. We as human beings use sunscreen and seatbelts, and dogs have seatbelts too. But what are you doing to protect your digital life? With WebRoot, you can safeguard all parts of your digital life, your device's personal data, privacy, from threats like viruses, identity theft, and data breaches. WebRoot offers multiple layers of protection to ensure you live a better digital life. WebRoot Total Protection offers antivirus, identity protection, VPN, backup, and more for one identity and up to 5 devices, or a family plan for up to 10 identities and 10 devices. Get real-time protection against malware, ransomware, and phishing with their powerful antivirus. Identity protection offers family coverage for toddlers, students, seniors, 65 up, and dependents, including up to $1 million for identity theft expense reimbursement. Plus, WebRoot's VPN and backup allows you to hide your IP address, personal data, and location from hackers. You can even back up and restore your data with unlimited cloud storage for one PC or Mac, or if you're just looking for reliable antivirus protection, WebRoot Essentials provides cloud-based antivirus protection for PC, Mac, and mobile devices. Get 50% off WebRoot Total Protection or WebRoot Essentials when you go to webroot.com/loveit. That's 50% off WebRoot Total Protection or WebRoot Essentials, available exclusively at webroot.com/loveit, webroot.com/loveit. Live a better digital life with WebRoot.
Meanwhile, as they claim to care about crime in D.C., Washington's top prosecutor, Jeanine Pirro, said that her office would no longer seek felony charges against people caught carrying rifles or shotguns. But in Pirro's defense, we all make bad decisions when we're drunk. Trump's crackdown also extends to DC's cultural institutions like the Smithsonian, which he railed against on Truth Social. Wrote Trump, "The museums are essentially the last remaining segment of woke. The Smithsonian is out of control, where everything discussed is how horrible our country is, how bad slavery was, and how unaccomplished the downtrodden have been. Nothing about success, nothing about brightness, nothing about the future. Why does this history museum spend so much time talking about the fucking past?" If you want a robot that does your hair and blowies, that's called fucking Epcot, you dipshit. Not the blowies part. Trump wrote, "I have instructed my attorneys to go through the museums and start the exact same process that has been done with colleges and universities where tremendous progress has been made. This country cannot be woke because woke is broke. Quick, Trump's lawyers are coming. Cover up that Sojourner Truth statue with the Seinfeld puffy shirt. I already got rid of Frederick Douglass. He's in the Apollo 11 command module wearing Roberto Clemente's batting helmet. Can you tell that that's Sacagawea in Archie Bunker's chair if she's wearing Lincoln's hat? We're fucked. We're so fucked. Fuck." Thank you. Yeah, for sure. The White House posted a piece of woke art they say must be removed from the Smithsonian, a painting of an immigrant family attempting to climb the southern border wall. The piece will be replaced by an AI-generated oil painting of a topless Sydney Sweeney assembling a ghost gun. Speaking of the border, here's Kristi Noem painting the border wall black this week so it burns immigrants' hands if they try to climb it.
And today, we are also going to be painting it black. That is specifically at the request of the president, who understands that in the hot temperatures down here, when something is painted black, it gets even warmer, and it will make it even harder for people to climb.
This will all be documented in a new novel called Tom Sawyer 2, Oops, All N-Words. Noam's plan is evil and foolproof as long as no one invents gloves or night. Incredible. Incredible. The Washington Post also reports that ICE plans to spend millions on custom ICE vehicles complete with the slogan, "Defend the Homeland," and Donald Trump's name in gold. They even put out a hype video about it.
When I crack a smile, white gold. Bling. Yeah, I'm talking diamonds, froze. Yeah. Came from the bottom, toes. Oh, yeah, back in, baby. 100. That what they pay me a show. Let's go.
They don't show it here, but when you honk the horn, it's just a recording of Trump's voice saying, honk. As Trump is deploying federal agents in D.C. and threatening other cities, he's also turned his attention back to rigging elections. On Thursday, Trump demanded the release of Tina Peters, an election denier and former Colorado County clerk, serving 9 years in prison for election tampering. He's so short-sighted. Let go of the past. Start cultivating the next generation of election tamperers. Wrote Trump on Thursday, let Tina Peters out of jail right now. She did nothing wrong except catching the Democrats cheat in the election. She is an old woman and very sick. If she is not released, I am going to take harsh measures. It's unclear what those harsh measures might be. Peters was convicted in state court, so Trump can't pardon her at a federal level. Then again, he can't do all this other stuff he's doing, and look at him go. Which brings us back around to our boy, Vladdy Poot Poot. Because he's long known what other leaders have only just accepted. You have to tell Trump exactly what he wants to hear.
Vladimir Putin said something, one of the most interesting things. He said, your election was rigged because you have mail-in voting. He said mail-in voting every election. He said no country has mail-in voting. It's impossible to have mail-in voting and have honest elections. And he said that to me. It was very interesting because we talked about 2020. He said, you won that election by so much.
I wish Trump would pick a different way to emulate his hero. Can't he just ride a horse shirtless? It would be horrible to look at, and they'd have to euthanize the horse, but then it would be over. In a report, PBS found that at least 34 countries allow mail-in voting after selling their printers to keep the Wi-Fi going. Point is, world leaders can't persuade Trump or shame him into doing what's right. They have to flatter him and stroke his ego. In other words, this isn't about diplomacy, it's about flirting. And so we here at Love It or Leave It worked up a few pickup lines you can use on Donald Trump if you're trying to protect the global democratic order and happen upon a chance to meet him. Am I in the stairwell leading to Epstein's cell before he was found dead? Because I am seeing one hell of a fine orange shape. Am I your dead ex-wife? Because I'd like you to stand over me with your 5 wood. Did it hurt when you fell down that very gently sloping ramp? Is that a bunch of Epstein papers in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me holding this paper shredder? Your dad told me he was proud of you. Finally, speaking of feeling like we're at the bottom of the barrel, this week the restaurant chain Cracker Barrel changed their logo and MAGA World freaked out. Whoa! And not for the right reason, which is that this new logo fucking sucks. They're claiming it's woke. The DEI killed the Cracker Barrel. Even Don Jr. is pretending to be outraged as if a kid from Manhattan, he's spent a lot of time in Cracker Barrels. But it's just boring. The new logo is just boring. When I go to Cracker Barrel, I want to see a cracker and a barrel. It's just boring. It's not because America forgot to respect the great tradition and heritage of Cracker Barrel, a chain restaurant and gift shop concept that was developed by a Shell oil executive to sell more gasoline off the highway. This is part of a trend of brands not rebranding, but debranding, killing what made them interesting and unique in the service of being more flexible, broadly appealing, more legible online, especially on our phone screens. It's meant to make a logo work everywhere, but in doing so, in being persuaded by the logic of testing and readability, you lose something magical and special. From when a brand gained traction and attention and trust in the first place, long before there was a massive marketing team and a $20,000 a month research firm telling you what works with Gen Z, a spirit that, for now, can't be replaced by consultants or captured by AI. And it reminds me of another brand that became so worried about appealing to everyone it forgot how to appeal to anyone, that can't figure out why a perfectly calibrated message and inoffensive content that tests really well isn't persuading people. And of course, I'm talking about McDonald's. Look at this dog shit interior. It used to be fucking fun. But mark my words, the end of minimalism is here. Hug your children close, for a new and terrifying maximalism is coming. Fascism plus AI, we are going to beg for beige and clean lines when this is through. The first horse of the apocalypse is this insane logo by Burberry. It's actually pretty cool.